Now, our collaboration with key partners. Katarzyna Szeniawska, Director of the Gas Market Development Division, to summarize the gas year in the context of market development and collaboration of clients. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The execution of the transmission service, providing the security of the infrastructure, being an operator of the terminal, the construction of the FSRU, all the challenges related to the energy transition, all those elements, all those responsibilities translate into the collaboration with you, with the market. It's about new relations, new obligations. I've been with GAZ-SYSTEM for nearly 20 years. I am the director of the Gas Market Director Division. I've been on that position for 1 year. Within the area of connections, regasification, development of the gas market, we've had hundreds of sessions and meetings with you. When you shared your needs, your demand, we discussed our capabilities and offered solutions. We assess that time as really fruitful. Thank you very much for all that, and I do hope that in the months to come there will be further projects for us to claim that we are part of the gas market, we are an element of of energy transition, and we are secure. Connection conditions. Year by year, we can see more interest in getting connected to the transmission network. That's this relation element where you show us your projects, you define your needs, defined by the parameter of supplies, contracted capacity, pressure levels, etc., etc. The dates, the deadlines that you would like to have that projects carried out according to. Over 300 requests for connection conditions for 2025. The structure of these requests differs. Sometimes it's a request for connection conditions, sometimes it's just a request for information. They have different time spans. Information is valid for the day of its issuance. Connection conditions are valid for 2 years, but it's not a binding document, as we all know. You can see the structure of the request for biomethane facilities, 89 for conditions, 45 for information. That's impressive, and we can see this direction. The share of biomethane in the transformation of the Polish economy and energy transition is visible. These connections are relatively small volume-wise, but their numbers translate into the scale of our collaboration. Energy projects, relatively fewer as regards the number, but the capacities, the power levels, that surely shows the level of engagement. The binding stage, that's a connection contract, connection agreement. In this year, we contracted 15 contracts, 3 in the power sector and first two contracts for biomethane facilities. We are in the progress of we are executing 45 contracts and agreements, 20 already executed. A couple of examples. Kavenchen Heat and Power Plant, that's Warsaw. This connection, it's yet another stage of changing the source of heat for Warsaw. Grudziądz, yet another example. A balancing unit within the national balancing system. Yet another project, peak load units and their connection, an element of the country's stability system. These are just a few examples. I could multiply them by numbers. We do not forget the collaboration with the distribution system operators. DSOs are our collaborators, of course. Those projects are of importance too because they show us the role of gas in heat production in the local zones, economic zones, or the role of gas for the utility customers. The next type of relation is a transmission agreement. On the basis on that relations, we offer the transmission service. It's where we build the foundation for the actual transmission service. These are formal documents. From your perspective, they might seem complicated, but we run the dialogue in such a way as to streamline you the walk through this procedure. These connection contracts, connection agreements are of different nature, depending whether you are the distribution system operator or maybe you are an entity trading in gas. We have 145 active agreements in place, 114 are shippers, 31 are DSOs. So we also have contracts with domestic and international counterparties, with the majority of clients being from Poland. Foreign clients join us in the transit pathways. Our relations with final consumers, that can be a transmission contract, but the final user can also use the formula of the transmission agreement, or can use or benefit from the transmission contract of yet another entity. What's important in our relation with the final user is our common understanding, the technical aspects important for the actual transmission service execution. Formal documents, that's one thing, because that's capacity allocations and transmission ability allocations. These are yet further elements to define our collaboration. Capacity allocation for the domestic market, it's based on the annual cycle, annual window, and annual products, quarterly and monthly. Of course, this procedure applies as well. So short-term products can also be ordered under capacity allocation. Capacity allocation procedure is pretty stable. Looking at the structure, demand structure forecast in the future, they are going to be subject to change. Capacity will be shifted from distribution to final users, but year by year we can see some increases as regards capacity allocations for an increase of capacity allocations for all aggregate users. And then the second item, auctions for interconnectors. These solutions result from EU regulations. That's the information in this slide showing you the potential loads and directions of directions. Baltic pipe, terminal, faxer. These are those points which are fully loaded from where we transmit further on to customers located within the national transmission system, but also towards our neighbors. You can see relatively high capacity booking towards Ukraine. In this slide, you can see the booking situation, but also the challenges of our system. Gas transmission in one direction from northwest to southeast, meaning that gas needs to be transmitted via the entire NTS. The system is so flexible nowadays that this challenge is easy to take for us and easy to complete. However, we do not stand still, because together with the developing market, the challenges may grow, and we need to know what kind of investments to execute in order to satisfy all the demands and challenges. We are also the owner and the operator of the LNG terminal. figures for 2023 versus 2024 in the perspective of development of the new regasification capacities. The number of 60 was already achieved at the end of September. So at the end of the terminal year, it's a bit different than gas year. So at the end of terminal year, that should be like 80 unloadings altogether, which shows that this terminal is completely used. As this Polish terminal, we can be proud of the fact that it's really fully used compared to other countries and other terminals. The capacity, regasification capacity increase results from the SCV project, the tank project, and the jetty project. What's possible here is the loading of LNG vessels, transshipment, and LNG bunkering. The jetty project covers those three. Our development is this aspect of our work which helps us combine the expectations, information from you, and our experience. In April, we submitted for approval the National 10-Year Development Plan for the years 2026-35. Under this development plan, 10-year development plan, we showed three demand forecasts for gas. Three forecasts determined by the energy sector and power sector need. The base variant that's our obligation of gas system. Energy or power system plus variant covering three major power projects, and variant 20 gigawatt plus, addressing the needs raised by the market, both generating units but also the energy transmission system operator. The market is active, it's changing. In August, we had a capacity our auction at PSC, and we needed to verify our forecast. It's this red curve showing us that the market approaches gas as the raw material for power and electricity production. The volumes behind those estimations are difficult to define because they result from various variables. To what extent will gas replace coal? Will we have nuclear power plants? What will the RES market look like? But irrespective of the variation, in the perspective until 2030-35, we can see an increase in demand for annual volumes. Later on, the share of gas in the annual balance will be declining. The role of the energy units will be to stabilize the entire system. Locations. In this slide, you can see forecasted locations. These are not the locations that will truly take place. It's just a forecast. As a matter of fact, our forecast for the power system plan variation plus are already actually presented here in the power in the power market. Other variants also visible here in the slide. Further units in the east of Poland will be challenging. We'll need to put extra effort to offer service there. However, we as gas system, we are ready to contribute to the energy transition. This slide, I'm not going to discuss this particular slide. My colleague will discuss it further on. Information exchange system, a tool that you know well. Regasification clients know it least, but transmission clients know it a lot. In October, we launched a new system, and we hope that this new architecture of the system help you navigate and operate it. We hope it's more user-friendly due to its new architecture. As always, we are interested in hearing your voice, in hearing your assessment and your evaluation. Your expectations are higher and higher. That's why the general assessment or the customer service scores are lower than it used to be, but still very high. It's over 85% of satisfied clients, but we do not slow down. We want to discuss expectations. We want to discuss your needs today and further on. A forum, good space to share knowledge, share experiences. The participation of external experts, that's something that you appreciate, we as well. So thank you very much to everybody contributing to today's discussion with the market. I think that the forum score, the forum evaluation is good. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for coming back now and again. Last year, we also had meetings with you. Biomethane workshops, hydrogen workshops, all those areas of interest. We have already started developing solutions in these aspects, but it's a new area. That's why this direct dialogue with you is of great value. Customer satisfaction survey to start tomorrow. Please join them. Approaching workshops for gas system clients, practical webinars, very practical, very detailed, very informative. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Director, for this presentation.